Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. Today's Friday, April 8th, the day before we do the drawing. I've checked my list and counted it a couple times, and I'll probably do it a couple more times, but I've got 30 entries. One person snuck in a day late, and we got to be fair. So we got 30 entries. If you feel otherwise, everybody can look back through the comments on that particular video about 10 videos back. And then tomorrow around this time, we'll do the drawing. I had a comment about an AR630. If someone was using like a dx8 or dx7s, the generation 1 spektrum transmitters, how could they control safe select with a switch? Well, my response was using a bind plug differently than some people are used to. If you put the bind plug in and power the plane and bind it that way, most of the time safe select is just on. Now if you bind it by putting in the bind plug, powering the plane, pulling the bind plug out, then turning on your transmitter, now you've told the receiver that you want to turn safe select on and off with a switch. Well, I've tried that with my dx7s generation 1, and when I do only the one bind plug method where you just leave it in, then safe select is off. If I do what I just described, put the plug in and then pull it out, then bind it, then I have the capability of using safe select on a switch. So then I plugged it up to my, or bound it up to my DX9 and went into forward programming. And there you could change safe select to be off, on, or off and on with the switch. Depending on how that AR630 is set up will depend on if you can control it by the bind plug method. Makes sense? So basically in this situation, you don't have much of a choice because you don't have a transmitter with forward programming to go inside the receiver and change it. And you can't do that with the USB program cable either. All you can do is either delete the receiver to scratch, where you can program it however you want with forward programming, or input models. So if you want safe select to work on a switch, find a buddy that has a generation 2 black transmitter and borrow it and do the forward programming. Tell the receiver what you want it to do, and then you can control it with your 7S and or an 8, which is the same thing. This has got one less channel. But here's the bind plug method to be able to control it with a switch. So bind plug in, turn on, you see it's flashing, then pull the bind plug out, then bind it. And in this version, if the receiver is programmed to turn safe on and off with a switch, that's what it would do. You can see my little flag at the throttle to activate the AS3X, and then flip it upside down immediately. And when you see the ailerons go crazy like that, trying to right side itself up, now you know safe select is on. And then we'll try the switch, gear channel 5. And it's not changing anything because the receiver doesn't know any better. Alright? Now, the other way to bind is what everybody knows. And in this case, we'll see what happens. Here, bind plug in. Receiver's powered on. Binding. It only did one dance. So there's no safe. Only AS3X. I'll change it real quick in the dx9. Be right back. Alright, so we're leaving the bind plug in. I got the dx9 out now. The receiver's on.
Binding.
Going to binding.
dx8s, 22 milliseconds. Telemetry.
Okay, we had the exact same that we just had with the dx7s. We got throttle activated AS3X. No safe. The exact same as the 7. All right, because we haven't changed anything in the receiver. So throttle cut's got to be on. Then you roll your scroll wheel over to forward programming. Gyro setup. The only selection you have with a bind and fly model is safe select. And then your first question is safe select channel operated. It's inhibited right now. I'm just going to change it to the gear. Just click to select it, roll it one time to get the gear. The next question is AS3X on, yes. And then safe select on. Alright, so I've turned it on with channel 5. No safe. I just turned on channel 5 gear and got safe. No safe. Safe. No safe. Safe. So, to answer the question is, depending on how the receiver is programmed, is what you can do with your dx8. And there's no forward programming in any of the silver radios. These are the only 2 silver radios that I have to show you. This is the dx6i. This is like the first, I guess the first affordable computer radio that Spektrum came out with. This one right here is in nearly mint condition. I'm going to kind of keep that for forever. But this one and this one, no forward programming. The only silver radio that does forward programming is the dx18. So you're limited to what you can do by what the receiver is programmed for. Hey guys, thank you so much. See you tomorrow night. Let's pick some winners. Until next time, you'll see me here. Thank you guys.